Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great week, folks, and a great summer. This is by Vincent Barnett. Almost everything is more complicated than it seems, but almost nothing is hopeless. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials down 107, NASDAQ off 21, S&P's off 9.5, gold contract up $6.90, traded at $1,186 an ounce. Silver up 24 cents at $16.07. Now, what we had with the gold market is this. Gold did have wide price spread, accelerated volume, higher price, all of the above. Gold wants to run up to this 1,200, 1,223 area. Silver had some juice behind it, had a little price spread. Silver needs more, though. Silver is the laggard right now. Copper down 3 pennies, trading at $2.64 a pound. Light sweet crude flat at $60.10. Bonds, 10-year up 9 ticks, 125.19. 30-year up 7 at 150.22. Both the 10 and the 30, folks, are in large ABC structures on the way down. We did out here today is this. You get a small bounce. You get it on dramatically lighter volume, and the thing that's pretty amazing, actually, is that we had a highly volatile market out here today. Bottom line is that you opened down dramatically compared to where we opened down from. Market made it back quite a bit, because when we look at percentage moves, Dow was off 0.6%, the S&P was off 0.4, as well as the NASDAQ. Now, Europe, different story. You had the FTSE off 1.5% out here today. We had the CAT down 1.7. You had the DAX down 1.8. Big numbers came down. What we did have is this. We had our indices actually did have an expansion of volume. You know, the Dow Industrials all day long was light volume. That ended up coming in with 718 million. The NASDAQ is 1.6 billion, 1.76 billion. The NASDAQ actually broke the June 9th swing point and did break it with volume. Now, don't forget, folks, at TFNN, we do 10 hours of live programming every trading day. We kick it off with our man, Mr. John Logan, at 8 o'clock in the morning. Our man, Mr. Larry Pesavento. John is 8 to 9. Larry Pesavento, 9 to 10. I go 10 to 11. Basil Chapman, 11 to 12. We get TD Ameritrade, Think or Swim, Darryl Martin. Steve Rhodes is 1 to 2. Dave White, 2 to 3. And then we're back here in the afternoon, 3 to 5. And our man, Mr. Andy Heck, is on from 5 to 6 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Our man, Mr. Larry Pesavento, every trading day you can get him. 9 o'clock in the morning. You can do this right on your cell phone at tfnn.mobi. Now, Larry's coming out with a great new service. It's Fibonacci 24/7. It's a new service all about pattern recognition by our expert, Mr. Larry Pesavento. Larry Pesavento, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great, man. It was great to see you.
Yeah, good seeing you, too. Always like getting up to Clearwater.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. You and Earl, and tigers, and running around the city trading. It's a beautiful thing. So, Larry, okay, so the way the service works is this, folks. The service, the first month is $47. If you like the service for the month, great. If you don't like it, you get a money-back guarantee. From then on, it's going to be $97 a month. Larry, tell us what the service is going to be like.
Well, basically, Tom, I trade pretty much 16 hours a day.
Yes.
Not in front of the machine all the time, of course, but we have setups that occur. And what I do is I make videos of the setups that we're looking at, so that I'm able to refer back to it to make sure that everything that I'm seeing is correct. It gives me a chance to update the market as it's happening. And with these active markets that we're having in foreign currencies and metals and the stock indices and crude oil, I mean, these are really active markets. In order to keep your risks down, the only way you can really do this is go down to a shorter time frame. So I go down to a hourly or 15-minute time frame in order to find an entry point. So what I'm planning to do is when I send one of these out, I'm going to give some parameters to folks to look at for these patterns completing. And I'm pretty good at picking out the patterns. I do a really good job at that. But even then,
They're
it's only going to
beautiful.
be probability based.
Totally.
And I'm going to try to explain to people, if it goes beyond this point, you're wrong. But the other thing that's important, Tom, is I want the folks to take responsibility for their own trades. I'm not just going to tell them to buy here, sell here. I'm going to tell them, look, this is where you should buy, and this is what you should look for. Whether they do it or not, is totally up for them. I don't need that kind of hassle. So I want to give them the patterns to look at, saying this is what we should be doing. Whether they do it or not is going to be, totally up to them. But sometimes it'll save a great deal of heartache in some of the positions they might have, and there'll be other times when I'm going to be totally wrong. As you know, that happens more frequently than I'd like to see it happen. But right now, I'm pretty excited about it because it's something that I have to do anyway. And I feel people would probably like to see it.
It's so cool. And folks, I've seen the videos. When Larry's doing the videos, they're phenomenal. If you haven't got his book, Trade What You See, you're going to really understand how clear these patterns are, because when it's not that Larry sets them up, the market sets them up, but what Larry will do is outline them for you, whether they're, Gartleys that are setting up. What's so cool, Larry, is that, looking at them, particularly because you do a lot more than just one or two. When you start putting those together, you know that, okay, we have a volatile market right now, but at certain times you can say, okay, all of these are basically lining up, so your probability does go a bit higher, whether you're going long in or short.
Sure, and then we have a lot of different things that we're looking at. We look at the 6 major cross rates: crude oil, gasoline, heating oil, all of these, and we try to find the best scenario for pattern recognition that I can find. And I'm not working 24/7. I'm watching the markets 24/7, but frankly I do sleep a little bit and I have my own life. But a lot of this stuff happens in the middle of the night, and the folks should be able to receive it timely. That's the whole key, is because I know they're not going to be expecting anything to happen in the middle of the night. But if it does and they wake up and look at it, at least they can see that, oh yes, this is what we were looking for, so now how do I enter? And that's the real beauty of what we're looking at.
Which is dynamite. I mean, that's the bottom line, because what we do, what I found so intriguing out here today is that, Europe got killed, and I mean, we didn't get killed. So, it looks to me like Europe's going to follow through, but, I guess we'll find out tomorrow morning.
Tom, that's a perfect example. Yesterday, I followed the DAX very closely.
Yes.
And the DAX stopped exactly at the 786 retracement of the low we made just last Wednesday.
Okay.
So that's a very important spot that we stopped at in the DAX at 10,020. Because if we get below, 10,900, boy, that market's got big trouble. And then we'll see what happens.
That's so cool to know. I see what you're saying. Yeah, right.
And the other thing is this is the first time that we didn't take it all back. I mean, usually, when the market's down 150, 160, it goes back to be up 70.
Yes.
And this is the first time we really didn't bounce back. The Nasdaq took out the lows of the other day by just a few points, and we didn't do that in the S&P, and we didn't do it in the New York Stock Exchange Index. So we need to take that out. When we take those out, then we're going down, and I think we're going to go down big time.
Yeah, well, this consolidation at highs, I mean, we've been up at these points for a long period of time. And, we know that, hey, that is very unusual. Bottom line, folks, if they kind of bust them up, we'll see whether they can bust them down.
Tom, the real problem is, of course, in the bond market. We have a debt problem that is terrible all over the world, a global debt problem. But the complacency that we have here in the stock market, that's what should be scaring the heck out of folks, because I've been there, done that, and that's not a pretty sight when people try to get to the door at the same time. And I'm sure the Fed is going to do something shortly to raise rates, because the market's already raised rates for them.
Yes.
And they're going to have to do something. They've got to bite the bullet, even though they probably don't want to raise rates here. It looks like they're going to be forced to by the marketplace. And then we'll see what quantitative diseasing is like, and then we'll see what happens after that.
No doubt. Folks, come over to our website at TFNN. You're going to see Larry Pesavento, Fibonacci 24 by Larry, right on the front page. You can test drive it the first month, only $47. It's $97 after the first month. Money back guarantee. Don't forget, every trading day, right here, 9 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. Larry's got a great show. Call him up, talk to him. Larry, you have a great night, safe night. It was great seeing you and Earl. Tell Sarah I said hi. Send all my love.
Thank you a lot, Tom.
Okay, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one. You stay right there, folks. Come right back. Dow finished down 101. They get the NASDAQ off 21. S&Ps are off 9.5. We're going to be right back, folks.